I'm going to begin just a little differently today. Today is just, I'm going to talk about the joy that has come this morning. Sitting in the back pew over here, Patrick Markovich. Stand up, Patrick. Patrick Markovich, haven't seen him in so long, and it's been a while. Welcome. And, I just had Cheryl. Cheryl, Mike's mom from Pennsylvania. Stand up, Cheryl. And everybody but Kelly. Stand up. We are so happy to see you already. Kelly just had some major kind of eye work done, so we're happy. And Michael's here to play the piano. And he played this morning the most contemplative collection of notes and music that I've heard in a long time. So Michael, thank you very much. There's just joy this morning. Janet's had a superlative 2 or 3 weeks all in a row here. It's just, life is just what you think it is. And this morning, I think life is filled with joy and peace and hope. And so it is.
It is so nice to see all of you here, and even the ones I haven't seen before. Welcome. I'm going to read to you today part of a poem that Senator Cory Booker read from during last Wednesday's confirmation hearing for Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson in the U.S. Senate. Jackson, a black woman with impeccable judicial credentials, was nominated by President Biden to be a new Supreme Court justice. She had just been subjected to intense and insensitive grilling by a group of older white guys from the opposition party. Here is my edited portion of a poem called Let America Be America Again by a black man called Langston Hughes. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneers on the plain seeking a home where they are free. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme that anyone be crushed by one above. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark, and who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young person, full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient, endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the people, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I'm the one who left dark Ireland's shore, and Poland's plain, and England's grassy lea, and torn from black Africa's strand, I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me, surely not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, except a dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again. The land that never has been yet, and yet must be the land where everyone is free. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America will be. We the people must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain. All the stretch of those great green states, and make America again. If you choose, you can read that unedited full poem online, and perhaps you will be amazed, as was I, when I learned it's not a contemporary piece, but was written in 1935, even before I was born. I was born a long time ago. And when you think about it, it's a fairly accurate description of the current state of affairs. Let's all do everything we can. Let America be America again.
Wayne, thank you very, very much. Wow. Brilliant minds with one thought. It's amazing. Well, good morning, everyone. Got a few announcements. Today is potluck, and you don't have to worry about bringing anything. There's always plenty. So it's right after church, next door in the hall. We are anxiously looking forward to the Community Cabaret at the Oaks, April 30th from 5 till 7 p.m. when we will be featuring the Bluebirds. So everybody likes the Bluebirds. 2 years in a row, best classic rock band in Sonoma County. So I left Rick Minervini, he's the drummer in the group. He's been a friend of mine for 20 years. I left him a message to send a picture, and Joelle's gonna work on it a little bit and see if we can't come up with a little flyer with the picture and stuff that we can get out, and we'll also forward it to the chamber and see if it can be in their monthly newsletter. Mike?
They're also their Facebook page is announced. I've already shared it, but if anybody else look at their Facebook page, you
Cool.
can share it amongst your friends as well.
All right, great, thank you. Yeah, it'd be great to start up with a real bang. It just, so thank you. Another little bit of Wednesday evening is still on, not doing it. Thursday morning.
Thursday, 10 o'clock in the hall.
Thursday, 10 o'clock in the hall, a book study, and anything can happen. Just, I've heard stories, anything can happen at this group, so you don't want to miss it. Another announcement, a friend of mine is opening a new restaurant in Cotati, and it's going to be kind of cool. And the name of it is Karma Cafe, spelled Karma Kafay. And it's going to have very unique things about it, and one of the most special things is you don't get a menu, you get what you deserve. That was a long story. Yes, Mike, Patrick.
Location.
What's that?
Location.
That's a joke. It was just a story. It could very well be true, but fortunately, it probably isn't. So,
New restaurants.
that's a great idea, though, isn't it? Any other announcements? Things that we've got a lot of announcements about.
A lot of announcements. We've done a pretty good job of completing 3 of the baskets back there. Post-COVID supply chain issues, buckets are hard to come by. Crazy stuff. So I'm going to have to go to Home Depot or Lowe's to get a couple of 5-gallon buckets from Hot Buckets. But we have 3 baskets done. The other ones won't have quite such urgency. COTS needs them roughly about 1 a week. So thank you to those of you who have brought items to add in, and to the others who put some cash so I can go shopping to top them off. This will be an ongoing deal. Pat's going to get in touch with them for us to deliver or them to come out and get these 3 first baskets. And they're filled with everything somebody needs to get started. Thanks, guys.
Okay, Joelle's got some things to say too.
Oh, yeah, do I? So I guess, what we know is that some of the families are or a family is moving out of one of the residences Wednesday morning, and they're hoping to move a new family on Thursday morning. So I'm trying to get times, but if people want to go pitch in a little bit on Wednesday, it sounds like that would be useful, so we can talk about it.
So we're going to have a little work day. See Joelle at potluck and figure out a plan. And we don't even know the address yet, but we can find that out probably tomorrow early. And but it's in their family residence facility that they have, and I think it's in Santa Rosa. I believe she said it was in Santa Rosa. So that's Wednesday. A little work group, do a little spit shine on an apartment, get it ready for the new residents. Any other thing? All right. Well then, let's stand up. Today, we're going to focus a lot about our own self. So let's start it off by, how could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful?
How could anyone ever tell you there was anything less than beautiful? How can anyone ever tell me I was less than beautiful? How could anyone fail to notice that we're not image of miracle? How deeply we're connected to us. How could anyone ever tell me I was anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you I was less than beautiful? How could anyone fail to notice that we're not the image of miracle? How deeply I'm connected to what you say.
We may now greet each other in the typical, or whatever way you're comfortable, traditional way of welcoming each other here at the Oaks.
Put that monitor there, that monitor just sit next to you so he can sit there. Thank you for the touching, generous compliment. Appreciate it.
It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. Just,
I wish I could help you with your
I called Sylvan. He's going to help on Wednesday, so it's
I've just gotten swamped and I just.
good for you. That's the right problem to have.
Some businesses coming back, so.
You know, and I called Cots too. I said, "You're kind of lost right off of it." I said, she said, "Well, maybe we can get our guys to come and help too." And I said, let me keep working. She said, "You work, we'll work." And I called Sylvan. He said, "Sure, I'll." So, and Sylvan was a stonemason, and you know, we worked the trades, and we worked together on projects. He's helped me move machinery, and so it'll be just lovely.
That's good. Where's Natalie today, the woman that does the,
She's in Reno, her dad's in town, they went, he's from Massachusetts or somewhere, and they went up to Reno, they have a cabin up in Reno.
oh, okay.
And when we talk about and hear about our welcome baskets in the back, having a little work day Wednesday, gotta clean up an apartment for a family to move into. When we think about going next door and having potluck, it's like, how can we not feel gratitude for all the abundance that we share with our community? We've been doing it, and we're bringing it, actually, folks, to an art form. You know, I tell you all the time, I'm so pleased because this family is finally walking their talk big time. And it just fills me with gratitude and joy to be part of this. Just may we read together the affirmation of abundance, but then really think about the gratitude that we can't help but feel as we think about all the abundance that flows through us into the universe. We have the power to free ourselves from lack and poverty in every facet of our lives by transcending that lack and creating a consciousness of abundance and sufficiency. That creative process is powered by our gratitude. May we ponder that a few moments. Thank you, Michael. As we prepare ourselves for a time of practice, let's sing together, Be Still, number 69 in the wings. We have several people who normally lead us in the practice, and this week, for a myriad of reasons, it wound up being me. You are in for such a treat. As I thought about what practice might we all need or be able to use, I thought about reaffirming our own personal value. There is not one of us, truly, that doesn't judge ourselves, mostly to a fault. And why do we continue to do that? I don't know. I guess society has just always told us we're less than. But each of us is such a bright energy, and we have survived and lived through who knows how much. So I would like to suggest that each of us just take a few minutes and reaffirm your own value. I read something a while back that said, try writing a letter to yourself, praising yourself, showing gratitude for yourself. Maybe we could ponder along those lines for a few moments. Perhaps we're finding a little difficulty finding the right words to write that letter to ourselves. It was a lady named Susan Ariel Rainbow Kennedy who took the liberty of writing your letter for you. And I'm going to read your letter to you at this time. My dear, I'm writing this to remind you of your essence beauty. This is the part of you that has nothing to do with age, occupation, weight, history, or pain. This is the soft, untouched, indelible you. You can love yourself in this moment, no matter what you have or haven't done or been. See past any masks, devices, or inventions that obscure your essence. Remember your true purpose, which is only love. If you cannot see or feel love, lie down and cry, and it will cleanse your vision and free your heart. I love you. I am you. And so it is. And so it is. That's the topic of my message this morning. Last week I went on and on in this very learned oratory about the value of poetry. How many read Kelly's poem that she sent out this week? Well, I'm going to read it again, because I think it's worth reading again, and it fits in perfectly, and so it is. And I'll preface this poem by the the quote that I keep taped on the edge of my shelf in my office. Peace can only come, inner peace can only come when we accept life as it is rather than as we would wish it to be. This is Kelly's poem. I think the title is 2022. It's spring. Colorful flowers peek at the mothering sun in California. Not so in Ukraine. There is ruin of rubble, is gray with bodies and broken buildings. At a Russian stadium, Putin is televised, deceiving those cheering Russians, chillingly reflective of enthusiastic blindness at Trump rallies. It's spring. When will higher consciousness bloom? That's up to us, my friends. And thank you for sharing those words, Kelly. I told her on the phone last week I spoke about how poetry gives us each a paintbrush and a camera and an easel inside of our minds and our hearts. And those words give our soul, our inner self, freedom to paint an image, to create an image that will actually never go away. We'll always have that because we created it, and that creation comes from the inspiration of the words of the poet. So, I'm going to read another poem that made me weep for like 2 hours. And I want to share it with you because I think it's something that most of us in this room are maturing every day at a faster rate. And most of us have ARP cards, if you get my drift here. So I thought how this poem spoke to me in such a way that I hope it speaks to you. It's written by Jan Richardson, and it's called Welcoming Blessing. When you are lost in your own life, when the landscape you have known falls away, and when your familiar path becomes foreign and you find yourself a stranger in the story you have held most dear, then let yourself be lost. Let yourself leave for a place whose contours you do not already know, whose cadences you have not learned by heart. Let yourself land on a threshold that mirrors the mystery of your own bewildered soul. It will come as a surprise what arrives to welcome you through the door, making a place for you at the table and calling you by your name. Let what comes come. Let the glass be filled. Let the light be tended. Let the hands lay before you what will meet you in your hunger. Let the laughter, let the sweetness that enters your sorrow, let the solace that comes as sustenance and sudden and unhidden grace. For what comes, offer gladness. For what greets you with kindly welcome, offer thanks. Offer blessings for those who gathered you in and will not be forgotten. Those who, when you were a stranger, made a place for you at the table and called you by your name. Change happens constantly in our world, in our lives. And for most of us, it's overwhelming. We always look at it as overwhelming and unsettling. And this poet suggests for us to allow it to happen with expectance of the unknown, with gratitude, as this experience of life, of change, is actually a blessing, whether we know it or not. I think that was a beautiful poem. So I follow that poem up by one of the quotes on here, was from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. For after all, the best thing to do when it's raining is to let it rain. And isn't that the ironic truth? We can talk about changing this world, but the only thing we can actually change is our own way of looking at the world, our own way of accepting or not accepting the world, our own way of changing ourselves or adjusting our life patterns. I think it was last week, I don't remember, they kind of run together. But when I talked about these are the best of the times, these are the worst of times. Yes, they are. Everything is going on in this world. And none of it is new, actually. All of the hatred has existed for 10,000 years, maybe longer. All of the love and nurturing and kindness has lasted for 10,000 years. Same with the greed. All of it. So when we have hope and we have desire to make this world, to make our society a better place because we were in it, what have we got to change? What have we got to share? We've got our light. We can share darkness, but there's an abundance of that already. It's just pretty dark in a lot of places. But we have light. We have our light. Sometimes we get so busy. You know, the people, raise your hand if I start going off on a rant here. Just stop me, because I can get out of control pretty quick. But we have people that are so greedy and mischievous, I think that's a great word. And they work at it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have companies, and their whole purpose in being is to create illusion, create fear, create more greed, create hatred. They work at it. What do we contribute to that? Well, I go to church on Sunday, and I have lovely thoughts of giving and sharing, and I share on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're very busy. We're very busy. Is anybody familiar with a comedian named Mark Maron? He's actually quite a thinker. He wrote something. It amazes me that we're all on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. By we, I mean adults. We're adults, right? But emotionally, we're a culture of 7-year-olds. Have you ever had that moment when you're updating your status or doing your tweet or on Instagram when you realize that every status update, every tweet, is just a variation of a single request? Would somebody please acknowledge me? Will you like me? Will you think I'm special? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it until I think we don't have to. But it might be a nice thing, a very advantageous, a very valuable thing for each of us, if in every week we found some major portions of a day, just put the phone on silent. We used to only have phone messages like when we could come home, and then before that we could only get phone communication when we happened to be in the room. And life went on. There was still plenty of time for greed and making a living, and it just, and we are so caught up in this instant, what would you call it? Gratification of what the digital age can provide for us. It can provide so much good. Medicine now is off the charts, and people are alive today that even 10 years ago would not have survived. It's amazing. But again, may we just take a moment and look at ourselves. What is our purpose? Collectively, I think the purpose of mankind has always been to be the caretakers of this earth, of each other. And I think that every one of us sitting here knows the pleasure and the joy and the satisfaction of sharing our time and talent, and our thought and our treasure with others, with caregiving of our family. And I think we could do it more. All of us. And I think that the beautiful part, that's the wrong word, the I don't know, the purity of the satisfaction we feel would be increased the more we indulge. The truer that caring is. So many people, and me included, all of us, we have gone through the motions of being kind and considerate. And we walk around, well, at least I got that done. I don't have to do that again until next time. You know, talking about some brother-in-law or something like that. We've all been there. We all do that. But let's spend some time. That joy shall come in the morning. Let that joy be and that hope be that today I'm going to recognize just how incredible I am. I'm serious, all of us. Each one of us. When we start the day having confidence that I have the ability to make people smile. I have the ability to add light into somebody's dark, crummy life. I have the ability to be a friend to someone. I have the ability to throw a couple bucks at somebody that really needs it. And all of us have done that from time to time. And we know how good that feels inside. It's like we are in line with our purpose. That's what we're here to do. Not to see how much money we can make or how many toys we can buy. We're here to enjoy I'll use a word I don't use up, the rapture of being connected with our fellow human beings in an unconditional love kind of way. Oh my. Mr. Eckhart Tolle said, the moment the judgment stops through acceptance of what it is, you are free of the mind, in the mind, and you have made room for love and for joy and for peace. If we could just all develop that practice every morning. I'm a creation of God. I have the power of the divine inside of me. And this world needs me. And I may not be able to create the utopian-like society we'd all love to see, but maybe what I do today will be the foundation for a society that will come to fruition and bloom 1,000 years from today. And it wouldn't do that if I weren't able to share my love and my light with somebody today. That's it. This world is as it is. It has been this way, and it will probably be this way for a long time. But we have the ability, we have the potential, one kindness act, one loving thought at a time to shift the consciousness of humanity. And so it is. That's the truth. I believe that with all my heart. I don't know if you do or not. That's your business. But you're here Sunday after Sunday, week after week, year after year. So I have to kind of assume we're pretty much all on the same page, folks. So as our fight song, oh, I don't want to use the word fight, as our theme song, let's stand up and sing, "This Little Light of Mine." That's all we really have to share is our light and our love. So let's share it, beginning today, continuing today. And so it is.